Mayong buntag sa tanan. Welcome to our weekly media forum at Habi at Kape Wednesdays at Habi at Kape. And we are very happy to see our guests already ready to give us interesting information for our Davao City and Mindanao. And of course, our media friends are here too. We're very glad to see you. It's the first day of July. Okay, so we're already half a year in 2025 and starting a new month. Yes, Iris, what's new?
Yes, good morning, Miss M. We will be featuring our government agencies and we'll be hearing updates from them for this episode.
Okay, so we're looking at the very bright faces of our media friends, and I hope they have a lot of questions too. And so we'd like to start with our guests. We'll introduce our guests. We have Mr. Dean Ortiz, the spokesperson of DPWH 11. He's been here before. Good morning, and he's going to give us updates on whatever is happening now. We have Police Major Leonardo Pamplona, and we'd like to hear about his interesting information of about the rerouting, and this is in Rojas Coastal Road. We have Attorney Hazel Anelu Sirunay for updates also on relief and recovery efforts in Davao Occidental. And before we ask you for your brief opening statements, Iris here will introduce our media friends.
Yes, we are jam-packed today, Miss M. We have a lot of media friends here with us today, so I'd like to introduce them. We have Miss Jandy Esteban and Bebot Cajes of GMA Davao, Sir Rainier Cornelio of Davao Today, John of Sunstar Davao, Miss Clarice Sanchez and Miss Sheila Lisandro of Radyo Pilipinas, Sir Roger Fernandez of the XRP, Will Duran, DXDC RMN, Angeline Beron of Bombo Radyo Davao, Sir Bing Gonzalez of Mindanao Times, Elmer Quintanar, Henry Palomata of Phil Arcom, Gio Tanod of Mindanao Times, Bian of DXDC, Danica Raneses of 93.9 IFM News, Kirson Castaños and Jeril of Mindanao Times. Then we have Chuking Pandya of GMA, Super Radio, Che Palikte of PNA, and Sir Rudolph Alama of PIA 11, of course, our facilitator, Miss Marilyn Roque. And we also have with us the Minda media team and our partners, Miss Shimi Caro of Ayala Malls Abrize, and Ma'am Bibi Montemayor and Ma'am Leda Jacinto of Habi at Cape. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Iris. And now we'd like to hear the brief opening statements of our guests. We'd like to start off with Mr. Dean Ortiz. Just a brief opening statement, sir.
Yes, ma'am. It's good to be here. It's good to be back here sa ato ang media forum. And good morning, everyone.
Okay, so the lady will give her opening statement, Attorney Hazel.
Thank you, Madam. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our Regional Director, Ruelo de Aradanas, DSWD is grateful for having us here. Good morning again.
Thank you very much. And now we'd like to hear from Police Major Leonardo Pamplona.
Mayong buntag sa tanan. And in behalf of our officer in charge, Colonel Abude, from the City Transport and Traffic Management Office, sa pag-usab, mayong buntag tanan sa tanan, and daghang salamat sa pag-imbita po sa amuha diri.
Okay, dagang salamat. And so we have a lot of answer searching. We're searching for answers. So murag daghan-daghan ni nagpalista ron. And first in the list is Jandy. Jandy Esteban. First question.
Hello po, good morning to Sir Dean. Sir, would like to ask for the status sa Davao Samal Bridge. We have an issue sa funding and the suspension. Can you
Okay, so the project is very well ongoing. So as of sa karon, as of June 25, as of latest June 25, 2026, we are at 61.334%. So our scheduled accomplishment is at 61.26%. So we are very well on track with a positive slippage of 0.065%. So right now, ang concentration sa atong trabaho is is going to the superstructure na ta since we have already installed box girders. And yeah, so as to funding, we have katong issue about the funding. Is that what you're trying to ask, Jan? Okay. So out of we have requested a total of 4.86 billion for 2026, no? But katong na-release lang for this year is 314 million. But what we are doing is that since that we are on track man, but we have already requested for additional funds from the national government aron dire-diretso ang among trabaho.
Additional fund for what
Additional-
specific?
Additional fund for the project.
For the civil work.
Yeah, for the civil work. Since like I said, nag-request of 4.86B, so 314M lang ang na-release. So we're working on asking for additional budget.
So the target date of the completion would be on September 2028?
Yes, if walay releases no for the rest of this calendar year, understandably things will slow down. No. And then of course it follows that the what do you call this? The schedule for the completion will also be moved. But we are very at DPWH, we're at DPWH, we are very hopeful na marilisan tawag pondo, additional na pondo.
Sir, we see columns already
Yeah.
established na. So what are we going to expect in the coming days?
Yes, like I said kanina, we are on our way to the superstructure. So katong mga makita ninyo karon na mga posta dito, katong mga na lubong na nato na mga columns, almost we can say that nahuman na ta dito na face. So diri na ta karon sa taas na portion. So mag-unsa lang pod ko atong usa ka social media post about mingaw daw ang atong construction site. We'd like to siguro emphasize na dunay certain hours of the day na walay nagatrabaho because of the heat. So ang schedule gyud dito sa trabaho starts at 6 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and then resumes at 1:30 to 6 p.m. Okay, mao gyud ang normal operating hours. But sa karon na daghan ta og mga puring na ginabuhat, usay 24, most of the time 24/7 ang trabaho nato. No, since we are working on 4 sections. So 4 simultaneous ka sections ang ginatrabaho nato. So we'd like to dispute that, no? We deny that. Actually it's I don't know where where the person was coming from sa pag-post niya yung ato, but he can very well check with the site kung do na gid by to validate for himself if na nagatrabaho o wala. But we are very confident that the project is ongoing and people are there working.
Okay, before kumuha to kay Attorney Sirunay, sir, can you give us updates sa Davao Occidental Rehabilitation?
As for the Davao Occidental. Occidental. Okay, dirita Occidental ta dyan. Okay, asa naman to? Okay, so since we all know that the earthquake happened on June 8 at 7:37 a.m., di ba? That's 7.8 magnitude earthquake. So since day one, we have already deployed, of course, our personnel and equipment, and then there were 18 identified landslide sections, no, or portions of the Malita Jas Road or the Jas Malita to Glan na dala nato. So we were able to clear all the landslides and made the roads, the road passable, that road network passable the shortest, in the shortest 6 days. No? So unong kaadlaw na clear na nato and made the road from Don Marcelino to Jas to Glan passable. So that's of course a concerted effort with the provincial local government unit.
Sir, may we know what specific infra ang naguba and how's their repair?
So far the roads are intact. Nakasarado lang gid saya is katong mga landslide from the slopes. Kay mostly ang ato ang mga dalan dito naa sa daplin sa bukid.
Sir, thank you. Questions for Attorney Sirunay. Ma'am, how's the emergency cash transfers? And also may issue manggod sa along the road nagihapoy makeshift stolda and they said na ang aid cannot reach them.
Okay. As to the emergency cash transfer, ongoing na po yung payouts, no, for our ECT. Actually, last week, meron na po tayong naibigay sa Sarangani. And then, ongoing po tayo ngayon for the Jose Abad Santos. And as to the makeshifts, yes, oo. Actually, these are self-settled camps. The families chose na dun sila sa labas ng bahay nila to settle. But as of now, Jose Abad Santos has at least we have 32 recorded na evacuation centers and 2,491 na po yung nasa inside evacuation centers for Jose Abad Santos only.
Yun, ma'am, yung most of the evacuation centers sa mga barangay hall.
May open spaces po tayo, may schools na ginawa ding evacuation centers. And then some areas in Jas na ni-utilize nila as tent cities.
Alright, kasi ma'am, in Jensen, may isang barangay doon na na-interview ko na pinapaalis na sila sa evacuation center because the barangay is going to accordingly use the barangay hall. Until when po ba yung mga displaced families sa mga evacuation centers?
Sa camp coordination and camp management po natin, until the LGU will take over the management of the camps, the SWD will still assist in the augmentation po. And if the situation mag-stabilize na po tayo and then the IDPs themselves are ready to return to their respective homes, that's the time na pwede na po silang umuwi. But again, that is based on the assessment of the LGU and specifically the MSWDOs and the MDRMO.
All right, thank you, Attorney.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jandy. We call on Rainier of Davao today. Rainer. Rainier.
Okay, so good morning po to our officials po. Isang magandang umaga po. So here's my question po to the Attorney Hazel po regarding sa DSWD Region 11 na funds regarding sa nangyari po dito sa Davao region natin nung 7.8 magnitude earthquake. So as of June 16 po, around 33 million pesos po was spent. So ano po yung updated total as of today po? So what are the primary difficulties of DSWD is facing on the ground right now po?
All right, as of June 30, that's yesterday po, 4 p.m. Yung latest po natin na total assistance provided already amounted to 111,987,557. And that includes the provision of family food packs. That's 58,160 family food packs, 4,583 non-food items, 2,220 ready-to-eat foods, cash assistance to 13 beneficiaries, and 7,317 beneficiaries for the emergency cash transfer.
Another question po, ma'am, is about sa relief update sa Jose Abad Santos, no? Specifically sa post ni Mayor John, may mga kwan kasi na saying doon na may mga shortage of trapal and sa mga affected communities, yung sa mga makeshift po, no? So, enough po ba yung relief po natin na binibigay sa affected communities or mga residents po natin doon?
DSWD is ano po, has sufficient ano naman po, goods and supplies. Kasi meron naman din po kaming other hubs po aside from the Davao region itself. We can always request for additional. As to the additional ano po, yung makeshifts, yung request po ni Mayor. We are still waiting probably for the request, and yeah, all additional needs po ng ating IDPs are duly noted. So in the coming days, we will take note of those po, and then we will respond accordingly.
So, thank you very much po, ma'am, no? So, to, Sir Dean Ortiz po, spokesperson ng DPWH 11 po, since na-mention niyo po kanina, sir, that there are roads na po na previously closed due to boulders po, na-open na po, di ba, sir? Tama
Yes.
po ba? And, ngayon, sir, is how much po yung total cost na estimated na public infrastructure damage so far po?
So far, there was no significant damage sa ato ang mga infrastructure dito. All our bridges and our national roads are intact. But katulang gid ang atong problema dito is katong mga nag-block sa ato ang mga road due to the landslide. Uh,
Okay, sir. Regarding sa dam sir, landslide po, kumusta na po doon po, sir?
na-breach na to tong landslide katong damming sa San Isidro last June 24. So that was a concerted effort between, of course, the DPWH, the provincial local government unit, and I guess the USAR of 911 kaning diri sa Davao City. So we were able to send two major equipment nato, no, mga backhoe nato, and that was responsible for the opening for the breaching of the dam. But of course, doon na po yung mga portions na ongoing gyapon ng mga clearing, and then there are equipment also na karon nagpadayon og clear sa ato ang mga landslide area. Final touches na lang, and then ginatrabaho na lang po nato ang pag-ayos sa mga pag-improve sa mga existing na roads.
Okay po. For both agencies po, for DSWD and sa DPWH po, since what is the immediate update for communities po affected by coastal uplift po doon sa and where are they staying right now, and what is exactly happening to them po? Wala po na. Okay. So final question po is, how many residents po are officially recognized as permanently displaced, and yung hindi po makabalik sa kanilang mga lupain po, and do you have an exact number po how many of them we need relocation po?
As to permanently displaced, we have recorded 5,000. Wait. For the Jose Abad Santos, we have 2,648 families with totally damaged houses. So these are yet to be validated, and if they are really 2,648, kasi yun naman po yung consistent na binibigay na report ni Jazz. So if we are to speak about totally damaged houses, that pertains to them not able to return na talaga sa kanilang respective houses. So we might classify them as permanently displaced. Yes. Yun lang po yung muna yung indicative figure, but those are still subject for validation and assessment po from the LGU itself.
Yun na po. Thank you very much po.
Next to ask a question is Sheila.
Good morning. Good morning, Kang Major Pamplona. Sir, Sa nato ipay nga rerouting sa Rojas, update lang sa kuha na sir po. Rojas Coastal Road rather.
Rerouting in Rojas. So, wala may rerouting na gihimo nato sa Rojas, no? But what we did, after the road was fully open to the motorists, so the road is 100% open, we will just implement some traffic rules. Ito lang, after the road was open, doon na may mga plano na mga traffic scheme to make it easier for the motorists to travel the road. First is the intersection of Rojas Avenue going to Coastal and the Quezon Boulevard. So we conducted a study and experimentation for a good flow of traffic. If we will do that, first is we have to make some traffic count and then observation and application. So first, what we applied is we opened the road, the road going or coming from Coastal Road going to Rojas is now open to the motorists. Unlike before na only right turn lang ang gipa-implement natin because pag ipadiretso natin yung mga sasakyan on Rojas Avenue, it will surely create congestion sa traffic. And then the other thing is itong left turn coming from Quezon Boulevard going to the Coastal Road is gi-restrict natin. But now, we opened it to the public but regulated. So, in the morning, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, we have to regulate that. Then we have implemented the no left turn rule. The same with the afternoon rush hour from 3:30 to 7:30 in the evening. Because if we will allow left turns, surely it will create road problem, congestion. So during our observation, by implementing this traffic scheme, we found out that it resulted to a better flow of traffic.
Pero magbutang gyapon ta og personal dito sir, especially wala pa siya traffic light.
For the traffic light, I think it is within the DPWH na po. If kasali ba yung traffic light sa pag-design ng road. But as per information na receive ko, they are also planning to install traffic lights.
Sir, sa other topic po, daghan na sad tag mga traffic lights nga dili functional karon, especially dira sa may Bangkerohan, San Pedro nga area, nga grabe gyud ang traffic pod ana nga panahona. Unsay update po ani sir? And pila ba gyud tanan ato ang traffic light karon? Pila ang functional, pila ang under repair, and pila ang gi-condemn?
Yes, that is true. Na there are traffic lights nga damaged na. So, with the number of traffic lights, dili ko kahatag sa imo og sure number og pila po na damage. Now, this is what is happening, no? Kining mga traffic light na damage na og need na gyud og maintenance. The City TMO has planned already for the repairs. Pero we have an ongoing project sa Davao, itong Davao City Bus System, na part of the plano is pag-put up og kining modern traffic lights that will harmonize with the operation of the Davao Bus System. That is why na medyo wala na mo ma-maintain tanan. But dili man pud nga 100% gipabayaan na mo. We also have mga funds for the repair of some traffic lights. Ang uban lang nga traffic lights is medyo serious na ang damage, so dako nga kantidad ang kailangan. If we will repair that, and then here comes the Davao Bus System na ilalang gyapon usabon, so sayang ang pundo na atong i-release po diha.
Lastly, sir, daghang nagapangutana kanang traffic, I don't know how do you call that one, yung sa may diversion road, sir, operational na ba daw na? Kanang sa may gap and sa may Crocodile
Yes.
Park.
Oh, nako, no. That is an ongoing proposal sa usa ka private individual. So they are presenting the proof of concept on how effective and efficient is that yang cameras there. But now I could say to the public na it is not yet operational kay under study pa pod na siya. One time we had a simulation conducted in that area. So we submitted to the city mayor's office kung sa to mga findings na mo na negative and affirmative na mga effects.
Thank you, sir. Kayong Sir Dean. Sir, sa Coastal Road sa ta, sir, kumusta ang hangyo sa city po nga pagbutang nato og solar or street lights sa Coastal Road? Labi na nga daghan kaayo na jud ang mga naaksidente. Ingon pa nila rason is ngit-ngit.
Okay, so sa karon kaning diri sa Tulip to Rojas, we have already started, no, or if I may get back to you on that, but we are planning to replace all the katong existing na solar street lights nato, since we will be putting up kaning mga the one with the higher lumens or the brighter ones. But for some portions na na mga wala pa kaayoy suga, we have to siguro inform na lang pod nato ang kamo na some of those portions na walay existing na mga suga, especially katong mga mga dekoryente pa, wala, unfortunately dunay mga kable na nakawat, no. So since mao na gid ang panghitabo, we will be replacing them, reconnecting them also.
But we have budget for that, sir, or manguha pa?
Manguha pa tag budget since that's already na-complete naman tong mga projects nga to, and that's a component of those projects, so we will look for additional funds for that.
Okay. Sir, naay video nga naa sa Facebook na post or sa social media katong sa bridge sa Coastal Road nga during earthquake naga-move siya sideways. Unsay assurance nato sa public, sir, nga safe gyapon siya, especially kanang bridge sa Bukana man yata na nga bridge?
That's how the bridge is designed. It's designed to move. It's designed to sway with the earthquake. Kay kung halimbawa dili na mo lihok during earthquake, kung wala na seismic caps, guba gyud na siya. So katong nahitabo katong after sa earthquake katong June 8 na, di ba, na nag-post ato na nag-post siya na damage dito. That's because katong ato ang mga expansion joints dito did their job of absorbing the shaking or absorbing the impact of the earthquake, absorbing the movement. So wala tay daang ay kabalaka, and then it was inspected by our engineers, of course, from the Unified Project Management Office, from the DPWH Regional Office, and some siguro from the local government, and they all came to the conclusion that what happened was just a natural movement of the bridge, and then it is 100% safe.
Thank you, sir. Kang Attorney Hazel, ma'am, yung hangyo po sa JAS, especially JAS Mayor Joyce, na additional tents, kumusta po? Nabay update si DSWD to provide more tents for the residents affected by the earthquake?
Okay, for the Jose Abad Santos, nakapagbigay na po kami ng 3,554 na NFIs, that's non-food items po. Included na dun yung family tents. And ongoing pa rin po yung distribution po ng mga items, although meron ng significant number of tents na and other non-food items na binigay si DSWD to the municipality, but these are yet to be distributed, considering na yung lugar, yung barangays itself is kanang lisod siya abton. Opo. But rest assured, the requests of the mayor and the IDPs are duly noted and will be responded po talaga.
Sa ECT po nato, ma'am, humana ba or asa na tadapit karon, taas pa ba ang ato ang padul nga atong gikinahanglan nga adlaw para sa pag-distribute po sa ICT?
Last week po nag-start na yung ECT na payout, and I believe tapos na po sa Sarangani. And then for Jose Abad Santos, ongoing na po tayo ngayon. In fact, papunta na po yung mga kasama namin doon to start again the payouts.
Lastly, ma'am, tanan bang barangay nga affected, especially kato mga barangay ingon nila nga lisod abton, naabot na ba sa DSWD, natagaan na ba og assistance ato mga kaigsunan ditong dapita?
Yes, ma'am. We have monitoring po. Lahat po ng mga barangays for Jose Abad Santos, for the Sarangani, they are duly provided po nung mga assistance, food and non-food items ng DSWD. And for Sarangani po, as mentioned kanina, tapos sa po talaga tayo sa ECT. And for this week, they have a target po na tapusin din po yung pagmimigay ng cash assistance for the emergency cash transfers.
When po ang target?
This week po yung target nila, and for this month, July.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sheila. And we call on Wilbert of RMN.
Good morning po. Ovil Duran from the XTCRM Davao for Sir Dean Ortiz po, sir. So, sir, what are the latest updates on the Davao City Bypass Tunnel? Do na ba enough budget and when it is expected to be completed po?
Okay, so ang dali lang ha. Am I looking at the right? Okay. Okay. So ang Davao City Bypass construction project na to is ongoing. So we have no budget constraints. In fact, paspas ang dagan sa to ang accomplishment karon. So right now, of course, i-orient sa tamo, no? Ang kaning Davao City Bypass Construction Project is a 45.5 kilometer bypass road na mag-start sa Sirawan, padulong sa JP Laurel sa Panabo. So karon nag-implement ang bypass project is divided into 6 contract packages. So out of the 6 contract packages, 5 contract packages are already ongoing, and then 1 remains to be procured. So ang gina-implement nato karon is package 1-1, which is already at 76.63%. Package 1-2 is at 3.021%. Package 1-3 is at 8.16%. Package 2-1 is at 88.82%, and package 2-2 is at 83.81%. So mangutan naman gid mo og kumusta na tong tunnel nato. Ang tunnel nato na appeal sa package 1-1. So nag-breakthrough ta na lahos nato tong duha ka tunnels nga to, tong north og south portal ni adtong 2025. So the kaning northbound was breached in March 14 last year, and then katong southbound was in August last year also. So karon ongoing ang atong mga trabaho. Na ang concentration nato sa atong mga trabaho is diri sa kaning Mintal, Tigato, New Mandug, kaning ato ang Tigato, New Mandug to Kabantian, and kaning Indangan to Mudiang nato. So wala tayong makita na problema sa atong implementation. Ongoing ang atong proyekto.
Okay po. Thank you po, sir. Sir, second question po. Has the recent earthquake affected the structural integrity of major roads, especially po diri sa bridges sa Davao Region po, sir?
So far, wala tayong problema sa atong mga bridges, no, except katong diri sa syudad na minor lang ang problema. Kasagaran yun maguba kung halimbawa, if we have the kaning term na guba, is ang kanilang yung mga abutment sa atong mga tulay. Kung asa nahimutang ang mga gaps, no, mga seismic gaps na to. But that doesn't affect the bridge structure. Except kung doon naging problema sa tulay, but we can very well do something about it. But what happens most of the time is that ang maigo gyud ang atong expansion joints. And that happened to Bolton Bridge 1 o diri sa tuang Bukana Bridge. They have similar damages, but since then they've already been repaired.
Okay. Sir, Sir Dean, last na lang po ang question. What measures does DPWH implement to ensure infrastructure can withstand future disaster po, sir?
Of course, sa planning stage pa lang no na ato na gid nang gina-anticipate ng mga ingana na panghitabo. So everything is factored in, including natural calamities and disasters similar to what happened. So we can assure the public that what we have our plans and the manner by which these projects are implemented are uh, well guided by standards.
Okay po.
Ah.
Daghang salamat po. Sir, for Sir Leonardo po, sir. Sir, for the rerouting of Ross Coastal Road po, sir, how long will it remain in effect po, sir?
Pardon?
Sir, for the rerouting sa Rojas Coastal Road po, how long will it remain in effect po? So, yung rerouting po, sir.
Actually, walang rerouting na gi-implement natin sa Rojas. We opened the road 100%. It was opened by DPWH, and then the city TMO will now take over to manage the flow of traffic. There was no rerouting, and there is no incoming rerouting scheme to be implemented. There were only a slight implementation of some conflicts of the intersection that we have to remove, like the removing of a no left turn coming from Coastal Road going to Quezon Boulevard going south, and regulated left turn from Magsaysay going to south in going to Coastal Road. That is 6 to 9 a.m. no left turn, and then 3:30 to 7:30 in the evening no left turn, so that we can give a good flow of traffic.
Okay, daghang salamat po, sir. Lastly po,
Welcome.
for Attorney Michelle Franca. Ma'am, what kind of assistance has been provided sa DSWD, ma'am, aside sa ECT po, ma'am?
ECT is a provision po for early recovery. So prior to that, we have the response. The DSWD was prompt in providing the food and non-food items to the affected families. So nakahatag na si DSWD yung family food packs and family kits, hygiene kits, sleeping kits, family tents, modular tents.
Okay, daghang salamat po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Wilbert. And we call on Rudolph.
Either to Major Pamplona or to Dean. Since na-open na yung Rojas, kailan po ba mag-open yung yung magamit na yung isang bridge sa Santa Ana banda, and asan po yung labas niya? May timeline po tayo na ma-open bagong entry, yung rotonda, parang ganun.
Sir, that area is wala pa pong ang city TMO dyan. So you can address your query to the DPWH.
Okay, so timing na lang po. Thank you for your question, Dolph. No? So, we would like to correct that post now na natin nakita na abre na daw kuno ang ang from Rojas to Santa Ana segment sa atong coastal road. So we would like to clarify na walay exit ang third segment. So this is that third segment again is from Rojas Avenue to Santa Ana Wharf Road. Although some vehicles are already using it, especially katong mga responders nato, coming from usually mga emergency responders nato are using that road since naaman ay murag what do you call this exit, no, sort of exit padulong sa Santa Ana Wharf, pero for the public it's still closed. But kanang segment nga na is already at how much is that segment is already at 99.42%. So what we are working on right now is the segment D of the project from Santa Ana Wharf to Jerome R. Castillo. So sa R. Castillo kasi ang labas nito. So sa ngayon we are at 58.28%.
Yung kwan sa walang labas,
Walang labasan.
yung Santa Ana, yung so diretso sa R. Castillo na.
Diretso R. Castillo yun.
So yun yung
Wala namang liko papuntang dagat.
wala nang okay. Yung sa Samal Bridge, mag-create pa kayo ng flyover no sa may insular banda, or
Kung ano yung tinatayo natin ngayon, yun lang yun. Yun na yun. So that's the only alignment na meron tayo.
Thank you. To last question to Major Pamplona. Kasi may accident sa deadly accident sa may coastal road involving tricycle or kasi may mga pasikong mga e-trike nagakuan dyan. May crackdown, bawal, di ba bawal sila dyan or regulated yung kanilang passageway dun sa...
For the e-trikes, 100% bawal gyud siya because operation of e-trikes is already illegal na. Walang authority na to use e-trikes especially on highways. No, walang nag-authorize ng e-trikes to operate, lalo na to be used as a public utility vehicle. Wala po. And with regards to the accident that happened along Coastal Road, so it is everybody's concern, di lang City TMO. Because we cannot give you 100% to prevent that accident. We have the police, we have the TANODs, the barangay officials who are also responsible in maintaining or keeping that road safe. So, si City TMO, with that incident, prior to that, we already have deployment of personnel, but because of the span of the coastal road, that we could not precisely cover the span of coastal roads to make it safe, especially during nighttime. So, sana ma-address din ito ng PNP and some barangay officials na kung may coastal road na under their jurisdiction.
Thank you, Rudolph. Chair?
Mayong buntag, my question goes out to Sir Dean. Sir, considering na naay delays sa katong budgeting, no? Di ba in place ang budget nato sa Samal Bridge supposedly? And what is the cause of the delay, sir? Nganong kailangan pa siya i-request and where siya i-request ang budget?
Well, we can only do so much as to including our budget proposals and NEP for consideration sa GAA. So it's no longer under our control kung pila ilang i-release.
Sige sir, if ever sir, given na karong tuiga dili nato ma-achieve tong supposedly kato na amount for this year na iyang itrabaho, mga pila ka months or years ba ang atong i-expect na madungag para ma-complete ang project?
Well, of course, significantly ma-move gyud ang ato ang timeline ana. But I'll get back to you on that since I'm not so familiar with how much of a slippage this will result to. But we are not we are murabaog sa amuang part, but we are very hopeful na matagaan ta og additional budget for the year since we know we know very well of the importance of this project in the development of the region. So mo unsa lang kita mga moyo ta.
Okay. Sir, a lot of misleading na mga posts no na ginaingon na naundang daw ang kuan sa Samal Bridge. Unsa ba inyong pwede nato ipaklaro sa publiko sir ang current status gyud sa Samal Bridge?
So like I mentioned earlier, sa karon ang atuang accomplishment is already at 61.33%. So that makes up of the entire our accomplishment for the entire project. In fact, we have a positive slippage of 0.06%. So kato lang siguro na usahay makita dili manggod kaayo siguro nila makita kung naagid ba nagatrabaho dito sa tulay since bawal man magsulod dito ang katong ang dili parte sa ang mga dili kauban sa proyekto or dili mga workers sa project since naaman good na working hours na ginasunod. So siguro in that case tong nakita nila na walay mga tao nagpahulay ang mga tao tungod sa kainit sa panahon. So ang atuang work schedule gid nag-start from 6 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and then resumes at 1:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. But right now, sa phase sa project karon most of the times 24/7 na ang atong trabaho diya sa Samal Bridge. since we are simultaneously working on 4 working sections. So kanang gisulti nila na suspended, kanang gisulti nila na walay nakatrabaho, dili na mao.
Thank you, sir. To Attorney Hazel, ma'am, ongoing man atong ECT, ma'am, no? Pila gyud atong target? Sa Davao Occidental lang, ma'am, pila ba ang target nato? And I think naapod by variation, ma'am, no? Sa ato ang kuan kay before, maghatag tag ECT is only 5,000. Na-change karon, ma'am, no? Katong totally damaged, pwede nato ma-discuss ang katong iyahang kuan scheme sa paghatag sa payout.
Okay, thank you. For the ECT, for Sarangani and Jose Abad Santos, gi-cover ta ng affected sa ilaha. So, we have 2 categories here, severely and slightly affected. For sa Jose Abad Santos, the affected families in Jose Abad Santos, 22,576 families are to be covered by the ECT, and Sarangani is 7,101 families. And for the computation of the emergency cash transfer, 70% of the regional minimum wage. Yun po ang basis natin for the ECT.
Kana siya tanan na families, ma'am, tagaan nato na siya og ECT. Mo na atong target?
Yes po. And then sila po makadawat ang totally damage og 10,244 and si partially damaged is 5,122.
So ongoing ang atong distribution, ma'am, and until when na siya mahuman?
Daan na po tayo for Sarangani and the Jose Abad Santos is karon for July.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. And we have Danica.
Hello, good morning po. Danica Renasas from 93.9 IFM News Davao. My question is for Sir Dean Ortiz. Katong ingon nimo, Sir Dean, na 18 landslides are na-clear na and passable na. Apil ba diri, sir, ang katong nagpagawas magod og public advisory ang MDRRMO sa Jose Abad Santos kay adunay mga rockfall sa sitio Kipalong Barangay Nuwing sa Jose Abad Santos gihapon, Davao Occidental. And gipahimangnuan nila ang mga motorista kay nga dili sa muagi dito sa maong dalan kay naagyo daw mga rockfall.
Okay. Yes, there are reports, no, and in fact it's true na dunay mga tensile cracks dito sa usa ka bahin sa bukid sa Barangay Nuwing. Pero this is already under the jurisdiction of the MGB or the Mines Geosciences Bureau. But of course, nami mga advisories na gipost and then among ibutang po dito sa area as to how the traffic will be controlled in case a recurrence of the earthquake happens.
But
Or-
this is not part of the 18.
This is not part. Kani siya parte lang ni sa actually I'm confused pod, no, kung doon na ba'y parte sa Nuwing, pero sa karon tanan na maagihan from Don Marcelino to Jazz to Glan are all passable. So there is also a problem na there is also a concern raised over the tensile cracks lagi dito sa Barangay Nuing na it was found out immediately after the earthquake, and according to our team of geologists and as confirmed also by the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, na continuous ang ground movement, meaning nagadako gid ang iyang cracks. So that's why there's a need for the government already to intervene immediately as to not cause, of course, catastrophic na mga panghitabo dito sa mga affected communities. So perhaps you could ask also MGB about that. But at any time, at any rate, DPWH is willing to help as it did with the San Isidro damming. So usaban ang atong ahensya magyud ang nag-lead na agency ato sa pagdala og equipment aron ma-breach nato to na portion and make Barangay Nuwing safe again. Kay kung wala gyud nato to natanggal in time, kung halimbawa nag-recur dunay dakong pagbaha may hitabo, then that would have very much affected the community below.
Pero,
So-
yes po.
So that's also siguro we would like to thank our Equipment Management Division, ang ato ang counterparts sa provincial local government units, the local government unit, and of course, katong uban pa ng mga agencies na nagtabang sa ato dito sa pag-clear sa area.
Since naman tay karon Sir Dean no kaning habagat or the southeast monsoon, dili naman ta mag-expect pod sa katong landslide dam nga kuan kadong ingon nimo kaganina nga katong kusog nga pag-ulan kay
Ah.
mahimo man gyud siyang risgo. Karon ba nga wala naman dito ang katong artificial dam katong tubig gyud nga nagtapon og dili na ba maka epekto ning maong pag-ulan?
I don't think I'm in the position to that. Okay. Pero we can assure the public though that DPWH equipment and personnel are on standby gyapon dito sa
Okay.
tibuok probinsya. In fact, karon ang atong mga equipment ug mga tawo sige og bayis-bayis sa dalan. Aron kung doon natin makita ng problema, ma-address gyud dayon. So prepositioned na atong mga tao. So kung doon na may doon na may mahitabo na pagbaha or doon na may recurrence sa landslide Simbako Palayo, natay mga tao natay mga ekwipo na willing motabang o ready na motabang.
Okay po. Isbog ta diri sa Davao City, Sir Dean. Unsa po'y update sa ato ang Kaliawa Bridge po?
Ang Kaliawa Bridge nato, we are already done with the substructure kaya nga nagbutang man gud ta didto og ato ag yung gisiguro na lig-on ang ato ang imog na Bailey Bridge even if it's only temporary. So karon nag-launch na ta sa ato ang mga Bailey panels and hopefully by the end of this month maabrihan na nato to the public.
Okay po. Sir, last na lang sir, namangoy balita karon nga aduna daw duha ka nagpakaaron ingnon nga DPWH officials sa CIDG Davao City sila na kuan. Unsay reaction po sa pagkadakop ani sa duha ka individual and nabatay info po giunsa nila paggamit ang ilang fake identity?
Well, we condemn these acts, no? Kaning mga labi na karon na nauso na ning mga scamming o misrepresentation sa ato ang mga opisyal sa ahensya. So we're very vigilant about it and we thank the CIDG for their assistance na natakpan nato na aresto tong duha ka individual na nag-pose as DPWH officials.
Thank you po. Ismo ko kay Sir Leonardo po. Hello, good morning, sir. Katong nagpagawas mo advisory din po about sa tricycle fare, sa kato pamasahe sa tricycle. Kaya until now po, naagi hapoy nagareklamo nga dili gyud mo sunod sa 10 pesos nga katong every 4 kilometers. Ipaklaro lang nato po, sir, unsa man gyud ang exact nga fare aron nga masayod po ang ato ang publiko.
Ma'am, thank you very much for raising that question. No? Kay ako gidunta nang idagdag on the end part of my statement. So, good nga ask nimo about kining sa fare sa tricycle. So, sa karon good, we've been receiving several complaints from citizens, netizens regarding the illegal collection of fares sa tricycle. Ani manguna, kung ato yung sugdon sa sinugdanan, no? There are tricycles operating illegally. No? They are not members of the TODA and they were not given a franchise. So they are not qualified to to apply their units for a franchise. That is why they are operating illegally and they are collecting sobra-sobra na fares. So it is not only a problem na to be addressed by the CTTMO. For us, every individual or the general passengers should also be responsible for this. once the tricycle will collect a fare na that is not a fare, no, dapat dili ka mo sakay. But because of the lack of transportation in going to and from, that is why nadala sila musakay sa tricycle. And then, mahitabo magkontratahay na. Kuan ba ya akong singil? Kay dili ra ba ko torno. So, mag-kolekta og fare that is not a fair fare. So, now, because of these complaints that we've been receiving, the CTTMO just this Monday nag-start yun mi sa among operation daily to get rid of this illegal operation of motorized tricycle for hire. So, madiskubrihan na lang na ninyo, ma-found out na lang ninyo, kulang na mga tricycle ron. Sigurado, plenty of illegal operators are hiding already because of the ongoing operation that we are conducting. And then matingala na lang siguro ning uban nga every barangay wala na masaksyan tricycle. Kay we found out mas daghan ang illegal. Because operating a tricycle is not a free franchise. We have also to conduct some statistics kung pila gyud ka tricycle ang needed for a certain barangay. Muna nanubra na mga tricycle kay ginatolerate pod sa publiko, musakay pod sila, ginapatronize nila, nga dapat unta dili nato na ipatronize. So pag mag-raise gani og plitihan nga taas ra, ayaw gid ta magsakay. And then for the CTTMO, we will just do our job, mag-conduct mig operation kay apprehending an individual driver nga nag-overcharge is maglisod ta niya na. Kay because these complainants are writing our office without any details. They just telling us na this tricycle is collecting too much. And then wala na other details. How can we apprehend that? But if they can identify these certain individuals, these tricycles, ma-address na muna, mapatawag na mong operator, then we can determine if that tricycle is operating legally or illegally. So, now, to address this problem, so we have to be more stricter na. Wala na tong ingon nga for humanitarian reason, consideration. So, kinahanglan, magahi na yun may, dili na may padala sa kaluoy ga. Sultian ka lang, sir, panginabuhi ni. If we will allow that, guba po ang dagan sa atong trafiko.
Sir, additional lang sir ha kay 10 pesos man to ang giingon sir no.
Ay,
Tapos
yes. Oo.
additional lang na ay 1 peso every kaning 4
yeah.
kilometers ang 10
Yes,
pesos.
ma'am, ako lang i-sure din na. Akong
Sige.
tanahon sa akong kudigo.
Tapos mga yun
pero,
na lamig ano sir.
What I know is the correct fare for tricycle is 10 pesos.
Mm.
And then, pila to? 3 kilometer ba or 5 kilometer thereafter? So, 1 peso
Apo.
per kilometer.
Sir, so daghan man gyud ang for example ang senior citizen mo sakay o kaning tricycle tapos dili siya kabulong dili niya matan siya ba nga 4 kilometers lang ba ni ang ako ang adtuon. So unsaon nato sir nabatay ka ng sample sir unsa kalayo para pod nga ang ato ang public ba at kung mabaw-an nila ni kabalo sila nga 10 pesos lang gyud ni.
Ang tricycles, manggod, is operating sa mga barangays, mga secondary roads, tertiary roads. So, dili po na akong ma-determine kung asa ang first 3 kilometers sa area. But, every tricycle is required labi na ning mga legal yun. They are obliged to place kining taripa inside their tricycles. But sigurado ta sa mga illegal operators, wala gina. Kaya sa ilang palangkuan, wala na sila prangkisa. Wala na. So, sama lang na sa usa ka tao nga nagahimo ka o nga dili ayon sa batas, kriminal ka. So illegal la imong ginahimo. Wala kay dapat or wala kay place diha sa publiko kung mamasahero ka. So ang tawag nako sa publiko is iwasan nato magsakay og mga illegal tricycles. Labi na ning e-trikes. That e-trikes is very prone to accident. Mo na ginahipo sa mo na sa kadalanan gina-impound na mo dito sa Malagos.
Sir, lastly sir no, naamagoy katong ingon ninyo nga i-submit lang ang reklamo sa Davao City Reports or sa TTMO. If magreklamo ba ang mga pasahero, dali lang ba ni or paspas lang ba ni ang process sa for example, mapasa to nila tong picture sa tricycle, kana ilahang identity sa driver, unsa ba ang ato ang process ani sir, tapos unsa ba ang mabuhat pod sa inyong buhatan alang atong mga drivers nga nagahimo ana nga illegal nga butang?
So depende lang na sa kung pila ka complainants ang mo-appear. Kung isa, tulo, duha, dali lang kayo. In just a matter of 1 hour lang siguro, humana na imong problema. Makita na nato ng tricycle na. But now, nga voluminous na mga complaints nag-abot sa among opisina without details. So maglisod mig pangita. That is why we resorted into an operation nga cover na tanan.
So unsa po ang violation atong tricycle driver sir if ma-identify nato to siya?
Illegal collection of fare.
Okay.
So there are mga provisions sa atong City Ordinance 0334 for overcharging. Pag ma-identify siya, if there is a legitimate complainant who will come to our office, we have to address that so that when that complainant will give his statements, so precisely mahatag po namo ang right answer or hustisya ba? No, mapatawag tong driver and then we will issue citation ticket. But if that driver is operating illegally, so ang among kuanda is siguro mo take over po ang police diha kay that is ang mga illegal collection of money na, illegal operation. Kami is we will not allow them to traverse or to solicit passengers. Wala man pud may authority nga kwaon na mo ilang unit. No, limited man lang po ang atong authority. So igo lang ta, makigistorya nila, makigdialog nila, and then give them a warning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you po.
We have time for the last person to ask. Awi?
Sir, kanang ihapon nga issue, sir. Kasagaran good sa mga fare karon sa tricycle, 15-20 good dugay na siya ba. So ang pangutana na unsaon na to nga nagi siya widespread nga pag-implement. Will you tap the barangays ba?
Sir, sama sa akong giingon, balikon ko. Nagakandak lang may operation karon because it is very hard to apprehend nga kanang ihatag sa imo na detail is a tricycle overcharging. Wala na. Kung ang tricycle is a legal tricycle na naga-operate, doon na PUB ID. Makita na sa pasahero. And doon na po corresponding number na para ma-identify nato kinsa na tricycle. Then pag once nga kaabot ang complaint sa opisina, ma-address kita siya.
Kung mga tuda-tuda, kanang sila mismo
Kung
kay para
tuda, sir, wala
direksyon-
problema. We can easily identify through tuda. Kaya naana sila yung mga members. But the tuda is not accepting or entertaining any tricycle without the franchise. Dili na nila pwede himuong member. So that is why they will operate illegally.
So katong I don't know kung kana laging 15-20 lagi na ko ang uban
Dili lagi na pwede, sir. Kita nga pasahero, dili ta mo bayad ni ana. Muna akong panawagan. Kung dili ka gusto mo bayad ana, kay gusto ka mo bayad kasi legal, why not walk? Kung doon lang ang imong lugar.
Sige.
Di ba? Oh, sa una, balik ko ta sa unang panahon, galakaw man ta. I can still remember when I was still in the elementary, I have to walk in going to school and going back home. Wala ko gasakay tricycle. Doon lang kayo na. Ug diha lang ka sa kanang sa sulod sa boulevard ka mo gawas ka sa Quezon Boulevard, musakay ka pag e-trike, tricycle, pwede man na lakawon.
Dito sa traffic system na to, sir. Naghatap na ba ang CTMO o katong drone or are we...
Wala pa sir, wala pa nang drone sa but it is one of our plans.
It will be soon or...
I can tell you the exact day or year kung kano sana mo na nga. Kung depende man kung na kay sa mga proposal nga mo ginasubmit po sa labi na sa peace and order plan o sa kining traffic plan. So nag-submit ba na? So kami po gina-scrutinize po ba na nga nganong kailangan na mo na.
Okay. Salamat, sir.
But one of the projects na mo na.
Okay, salamat, sir.
Thank you kayo, Awi. And for those who have questions, pwede man siguro sila mo accommodate og ambush, no? I think our panelists will
Ayaw lang ambush.
uh,
Ayaw lang ambush, ma'am.
kay gani ako gani gusto mo ambush kay there are units that are not uniform, dili uniform ang design. Naiuban murag barbecue stick lang ang ilang mga putaw mahadlok kung panginabuhi sa ang ilang rason ang amo kinabuhi. So kanang tricycle nga usahay walay mga salog, guslot unya. As long as mudagan lang, they are already making getting passengers. Unta kanang we should have a standard design for our tricycles. Unta kay ang tagong baya ang ilang design is uniform, di ba? So why can't we do that in Davao City? Kanang design at ato kanang dapat pa-standardize so that kanang mga makeshift lang tricycles are I think endangering our lives. Labi ng mga kaming mga senior maglisod ra ba migsakay ana nya.
Mawala na siya.
Murag
You
they
can
put
see
our
tricycles
lives
sa among compound map nga ginakuha na mo na nangalatak na rin.
lagi kay murag they put our lives in danger.
Hazard na nga ka.
Oo, ang among mga kinabuhi are at risk with that. Dali ra na kaay siya mapalid ug hangin mapanggaan lang siya ka gamay tumba. So I think we should also standardize the design of our tricycles kung permitted man. Okay, so wala na questions. I think we can wind up our forum. So last na lang gyud among pangayoon ang closing statements, Mr. Ortiz.
Okay, once again, good morning sa tanan. On behalf of our Regional Director, Juby Cordon, and Assistant Regional Director, Joey Tulaylay, we would like to thank, of course, the organizers, especially the Mindanao Development Authority for inviting us over again. And then, it's nice to see all of you once again. May buntag.
And Attorney Hazel.
For our affected families, ato ang recent na disaster and the general public as well, we would like to assure that the SWD, together with our partner agencies and even your respective local government units, are always ready and working and would always work hand in hand with extra care and love to help everyone recover from the effects of the disaster and eventually towards the rehabilitation. And we would like also to thank the Mindan News and our media partners for this opportunity to makahatag mi og mga information regarding our disaster response operations. Thank you.
And from Major Pamplona.
Yes, in behalf of the City Government of Davao and the City Transport and Traffic Management Office, thank you very much for inviting us here. And my only message to the public is very simple. For the city traffic, just obey traffic rule so we can prevent accidents.
Okay.
Again, thank you.
Daghang salamat. Here's Iris.
On behalf of the Mindanao Development Authority, headed by our chairperson, Secretary Lea Teresa Magno, I would like to thank our guests, CTTMO, DSWD, and DPWH. Thank you for sharing with us your different agency updates and the status of your programs and projects. Thank you. Thank you to our facilitator, Ms. Marilyn Roque. Thank you to our media friends present here today, our media friends monitoring online, our online viewers in our Minda Facebook page. Thank you to our partners, Ayala Malls, Abriza, and Habi at Cafe. Thank you very much, everyone. See you again next episode.
Thank you. Mabuhay